So as we all know, Droid Heroes have been confirmed for Star Wars Battlefront 2 BB-8 and BB-9E. And this has caused a huge divide, which I didn't really understand at first because I read the community transmission expecting no heroes, and then I read that about droids, and I was actually pretty pleased, and I still am very pleased with this. I would say that you're probably surprised, but I'm on the positive side of the spectrum here. However, I completely understand people being on the negative side of the spectrum, but you have to look at things here, and you have to look at how this whole DLC was presented to us, and that was for a long time that heroes weren't coming in general. We were to just expect reinforcements, 2 of them, and we ended up getting 4. Now Dennis Brownville has come out and made quite a few comments about this situation. I'm going to get into those as well. I'm going to get into why I feel the backlash is pretty big, because I think it comes down to one specific word, which is the word hero, and just so much more, so let's discuss this. Now first of all, like I said, I believe the word hero was the wrong word to use, because already you've got people memeing this saying, you know, am I going to have BB-8 taking on Darth Vader in Heroes vs Villains? Something I thought of straight away was, wait, does this mean the droids are going to be available in Heroes vs Villains? Because I don't like the idea of that. But I don't think you're going to have BB-8 and BB-9E on the battlefront tearing apart the other heroes and the other troopers for that matter. It is in no way bizarre to see a droid on the battlefield in any way. This is something we've seen in all of the Star Wars trilogies, predominantly R2-D2. Look at all the times he's on the forefront with Anakin Skywalker, with Luke, and yeah, he doesn't really do anything in the sequels, but BB-8 is there, taking control of AT-STs in The Last Jedi, which whether you liked that or not, it's a fact, it happened. So droids are no strangers to war in any way, which this is the first part I don't understand, because I'm sure the devs are working hard to make sure that the droids operate how they would in the Star Wars universe, and that isn't for them to be deployed onto the battlefront and tear apart everybody. It's for them to be of some assistance. Now let's read the descriptions for these 2 heroes, what we've got so far. This was on the website. Also, fans of astromech droids rejoice. Seriously, who isn't a fan of astromech droids? The brave BB-8 joins the Resistance as a new hero character, bringing fast-paced playstyle to the roster. His equivalent on the dark side, BB-9E, will play a support role for the First Order. Already there, support role, fast-paced role. No one said anything about dominating the battlefront, taking down every hero. I feel these guys are going to work very differently, and I feel when they are deployed onto the battlefront, people are going to start asking, alright, when are we going to get R2-D2? When are we going to even get C-3PO? Now I do wish they just called these things droid support or droids, not registered them as heroes, because heroes is the wrong way going about it. I'm not saying that they're not heroes in their own right, of course they are. Everyone's a hero in Star Wars in some sort of way, I suppose. Well, I mean almost everyone, but come on now. When doesn't a main character in Star Wars have a droid by their side helping them out? It seems bizarre to me to not have one there, and I'm for this idea. But Dennis kind of dropped himself in on Twitter, and you know, me and Dennis have had our differences, and like I've stated many times, I have nothing personal against Dennis, but some of the things he comes out with are awful, and some of the things he comes out with are great. I think this is a great move by Dennis if it was his idea to bring in droids, which it very well could have been, it might not have been, but I think this is a great idea. However, the way he went about wording this wasn't great. However, I do sympathise with him at the same time, because I feel they've tried something different here, and they've received backlash in areas that I don't feel they should be getting it. It was never stated that we were getting heroes in this DLC. Like I said, it was stated that reinforcements were coming. But then people are saying, well, you know, where's Hux? Where's Poe? Poe pretty much finishes the trio, doesn't he, for the good guys, and Hux finishes it for the bad guys. And then Dennis comes out and says there was like 0 requests for Hux. Well, you know, I much prefer BD-9E. I really, really do. But I think saying there's 0 requests for Hux and trying to say there was any requests for an astromech droid is kind of stretching it, Dennis. Dennis also said that he was also excited for his son to play this game, who's obviously young and is watching the new movies. Those movies will be his generation of Star Wars, which I fully accept. It must be nice for people like that to get their content in the game. However, Dennis, something else you also promised a long time ago was female heroes. And I definitely think what he meant by that was Ahsoka and Ventress. But I do see, it's not many people admittedly, but I do see people wondering what about these new characters in The Rise of Skywalker as well, which there was no chance of them coming if you'd followed the game for all these months. However, it's just as acceptable to wonder where they are when you were told like a year ago more female heroes and here's 2 astromechs. Look, I totally believe though Ahsoka and Ventress are coming to the game, and that's another thing now people are saying astromechs over Ahsoka and Ventress. I get it, they're not going to add Ahsoka and Ventress in the Rise of Skywalker season, but something else Dennis wanted to say is if we go adding like Hooks and Poe, then you're just going to say we were told to do this instead, you know, by an executive, instead of adding these characters that everybody wants. Well, that kind of goes the same way, doesn't it, with adding astromechs? You were probably told to add them, or you were probably told, right, we need sequel characters. And come on, we can't hide the facts here. The sequel characters are probably the least popular characters in the saga, whether you agree with that or not. It is what the majority think. And they're not going to sit there making these female heroes who are in the game, or even Poe and Hux, when not many people are asking for them, when they could do something different with BB-8 and the other astromech droid, and therefore it wouldn't be as big of a backlash. The same reason I don't think they added heroes with the Solo season last year, because these characters just don't reach that level of popularity that the Clone Wars heroes do. I'm not saying the 2 new heroes won't take any time to make, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm definitely saying is that I do think BB-8 and BB-9E will get people playing the game. Hux and Poe are just going to be like any other blaster users at this point. And I don't think people were going to come back for that. So this way, all the time that's going into these new heroes, and I do think there's a lot of time going into them because they're like nothing we've got in the game so far, but it will pay off. People are going to think, I'm going to pick up Battlefront and play as these droids. This is new, I've never done this before. Alright, you could play as R2 in Battlefront 1, but a lot of people didn't play Battlefront 1 compared to Battlefront 2. So what are my thoughts overall? Like I said, I'm fully for this. I don't even like the sequel trilogy in any way possible. Like I've stated many times, that doesn't matter when it comes to Battlefront, it's about judging the content as content, but I do think this has made me hyped for this season in general because it's something different, and I can't deny, I've never had a problem with BB-8. I own a BD9E, and yeah, it's pretty crazy that this is happening. So do I think they made the right decision here? Absolutely. Nobody saw it coming. It's not going to be 2 generic characters that nobody cares about, or nobody is going to be too intrigued to play as. I think they did it exactly right, and I do congratulate you, Dennis. I do congratulate the team for experimenting with this. I will also say that I'm sorry you're getting hate for this. I don't think your answers on Twitter are great. I'm going to be honest with you. You know what I think of them. But I do feel sorry for you in terms of the backlash here, because I didn't expect a backlash like this. At the end of the day here, guys, what would you have rather seen? No heroes like we first originally thought for the Rise of Skywalker DLC? Poe and Hux, which, would they have been unique? Would they have actually brought many people back for a long period of time? Would you rather have seen Rose, Zori Bliss, Jana from the new movie? I don't think anybody would have seen Rose, to be honest, if it was up to them. But if you do disagree with this decision, or you think it's a bit strange, I'm asking you all to sit back and please just think about it, because this is probably the best way they could have gone with adding sequel trilogy heroes that aren't hated by a vast majority of the fan base, or that aren't boring characters that no one cares about, and at the same time adding something to the game that is very special and very unique to the Star Wars universe, that there is always that droid companion that doesn't necessarily get involved with the battle and take everyone down, but they do assist. And I do believe this is going to change the gameplay, especially of the sequel era, and make it different from that of the prequel era, which is full of droidicas and so many different clones and everything like that. I feel this will change up the sequel era and make that era unique in its own way, that you aren't just wanting to skip the maps every time. You'll want to play this era, and that is something that excites me very much. So I'll finish off this video by saying, think about it, guys. The main characters always have droid companions. Maybe switch the names out, DICE, don't call them heroes, just call them droids. Please, just change that. That's the one thing you've done that I do disagree with. but I do think we should give this a chance, and it's coming from me, and I will pick these guys apart if I have to with some of their decisions. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I do hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.